Hello and welcome to Realm's Edge Gaming. In this episode we're going to take a look at the new Lumineth and Soulblight models that were revealed today and as the article says, shot on a non-terrible camera. So the other day some of you might have spotted that there were some kind of leaked images. There were two leaked images that were doing the rounds on the internet, and there was a Lumineth model and there was also a Soulblight Gravelord too. Now, I must admit, when I saw the models there, I didn't want to kind of do a video based upon them because it did seem to be a leaked image, and I felt sorry for Games Workshop really. I know how much effort they must have put into, kind of preparing themselves for the weekend reveal with the Death and the Divine article coming up. So I didn't make an article based upon that, but they have since actually done an article which doesn't use the potato camera anymore. So it says, the dread potato camera has long been the bane of Warhammer fans everywhere. Wherever it strikes, you'll find poorly rendered pics of an out-of-focus future. As you may have seen in the wild places of the internet, it's found and snapped its latest victims. Luckily for you, the Warhammer community team is on hand. We've used a non-starch powered photographic device to get you some non-terrible pics of these awesome new miniatures. But first, have you ever wondered what the Lumineth Gravelords sound like? Now, one of my subscribers really, I think it was 12 Neef, said about the importance of not showing the videos. It's something that I wasn't really aware of due to copyright claims. So shout out to them for letting me know. But it's a really funny article with Peachy and one of the other presenters talking about what accent they thought the Lumineth Gravelords might have. And if I'm honest, I always kind of thought that they would have like a Parisian French accent for some reason. But in the article, they were talking about, they said about, it was Australian, and they kind of alluded to kangaroos. And then it says here, elves on kangaroos. The mortal realms is just full of surprises, isn't it? Despite the internet speculation today, these stylish mounts aren't actually Antipodean marsupials, despite the resemblance. These creatures are tree runners, one of the many and varied exotic Haitian creatures with which the Lumineth have a natural affinity. Their riders are hurricane wind chargers, and we can only assume that they're swift as an autumn gale. And wow, these miniatures are absolutely beautiful. I'll be honest, I didn't expect this at all. So on Monday they released a kind of rumour engine picture based upon something that we're going to be shown on Saturday, and with it mentioned that there was some kind of whispers on the wind, and I'm guessing this was kind of what they were leaning towards when they said that, because there seems to be kind of like the wind temple, the air elemental temple, and I really didn't expect to see it in this reveal, but they're kind of like the thing I didn't know I needed. They are absolutely beautiful. Like, the actual poses of them are, really kind of dynamic. I like how I've got the archers, and I will definitely be adding these to my Lumineth Gravelords collection. I think the actual curvature of the bow is beautiful, and they were actually, well, I think it's the next one really, when we kind of move on throughout the article. These were actually teased on the Christmas Day reveal. The colour scheme works really well. Those blends are beautiful. I think I say this in most videos, but their heavy metal team really have done a superb job. I know on the internet, reading some of the comments, it was kind of divisive. Some people really liked it. This is the one that was teased on Christmas Day. Some people really liked it, and others, really wasn't interested in it at all. But from my perspective, I think they're brilliant, and it really does kind of tie in with the Lumineth aesthetic that we know. I'm not really sure kind of why they're being released so soon after the kind of battle tome was initially put out. I don't know if it's going to be like another temple, or if we're going to kind of see some of the water elementals as well. That kind of remains to be seen. But the article does go on to say that, if you are a Lumineth fan, you don't want to miss Saturday's Warhammer preview, The Dead and the Divine, because we're just getting started. and it kind of alludes to the fact that there are going to be more than these models shown on Saturday. But I'd love to get your opinion too. What do you think? Are you excited for these, or could you kind of take it or leave it, not really too fussed? I have to be honest, like the whole Lumineth Realmlords thing, I think has been fantastic. I can't wait till we see the kind of Umbraneth or the Shadow Elves, kind of the opposite of these guys. But from what I can see so far, these are absolutely brilliant, and I can't wait to add some to my army too. But as the article goes on to say, it looks like the power of ancient bloodlines is rising in the mortal realms as well. Just take a look at this blood-sucking fiend who answers to the title of Vampire Lord. I have to be honest, when I initially saw the image, it was really hard to make out. It was, as the article says, very blurry, but now that I can see it in more detail, it looks great. I'll be honest, I was a little bit disappointed that it wasn't Vampire Pirates. So when I initially saw it, I was like, but it has since, after I've looked at it a few times, got a bit more used to it, I do think it looks really good. It'll be interesting to see if it comes like with an alternative head sculpt as well. One where it's just the hair and not necessarily the bats. The pose is good, as always. Most AOS champions do seem to be posed upon a rock. I think this kind of highlighting here on the matte black armour looks great. Kind of throwback to the Blood Dragons. And it just seems, generally speaking, like a more classic vampire. I'm thinking back to the Von Carsteins of the Warhammer Fantasy world. It really seems like a kind of updated figure based on those. It'll be interesting to see what we get on Saturday. I remember on Halloween we had that image of like Johann running from that kind of zombie figure. Maybe we'll see them on Saturday too. And it goes on to say, what heroes will stand against this reborn evil? You might just find out on Saturday as we raise the stakes in our latest Warhammer preview online. Check out the preview for the lowdown on where and when. So this kind of goes to show that on Saturday, not only will we see more of these Soulblight Gravelords, but also those who are going to oppose them, who are going to stand against them. If you cast your minds back to Christmas Day, the reveal then, it showed that kind of vampire hunter. I know Warhammer Weekly were talking about this, and they kind of alluded to the fact that it maybe is the Order of Azir. Maybe that's what the Divine stands for in the Dead and Divine. But it'll be really, really interesting to see, what both of those factions sound like. They're going to be amazing. And I think any kind of new AOS miniatures can only be good for the hobby, because I think I've said this on a number of occasions, the design team are doing so well. I would love to get your opinion on this though. What did you think? Were you kind of disappointed by the reveals? Or are you kind of delighted? Are you excited on what we will see on Saturday? If you've not already subscribed to the channel, it would be brilliant if you could do so, and I'd love to get your opinions below. So hopefully we'll be speaking soon. Thanks for joining me, and of course we will no doubt speak soon, definitely on the Saturday too, when we get the preview in its official status and show. So thanks for joining me once again, and speak to you soon. Goodbye.